Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Captain David Simpson over there?
Absolutely wonderful.
Good.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
I really appreciate having you on today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of the Kim Jacobs Show today. And we are going to have a great time, everyone. So grab your virtual seats, tag your friends, let everybody know that the show is here on the air. And we're going to be talking with, I'm sure we're going to find out exactly how many African-American pilots exist from this great young man, but we're going to find out throughout this broadcast something that some people have only dreamed could ever become possible. This young man made it a reality. And so today we're talking about the sky having no limit when it comes to what this young man can do. So we're going to take a commercial break, and time we come back, we're going to deep dive. I don't want anybody to miss this episode. So go ahead and tag your friends, share the broadcast, invite people into today's discussion. And we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or ride share, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. And we are back. First of all, where are you located, Captain?
Right now, I am in Reston, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C.
Okay. And so that's your home base, and you kind of go everywhere from there with your job?
All over the place.
Excellent. And so as we talk today, I'm going to introduce you, but then I want to kind of just hear your backstory. I'd love to hear what brought this all about in your journey, because some people have their goals and their dreams when they're younger, but it's like, how do you really make that thing become a reality? So today, everyone, we are talking with Captain David Simpson, who was born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland. He became interested. I'm not going to tell how he became interested, because I think that would be good for you to share. But he attended Hampton University, where he majored in aviation. He graduated with honors and 3 flight instructor ratings. After flight instructing for under a year, he was hired by Masaba Airlines Northwest Airlink. And there he was based in both Detroit and Memphis. He flew both the Saab 340 and Avro RJ-85. So 6 years later, he was hired by Continental Airlines, which later merged with United Airlines. There he has flown Boeing 737s, 757s. Oh, that's my area code back home. Okay, anyway. 757, and I do like that when I do 757, 767, 777 as a first officer, and is now a captain on the Boeing 737 based in the Washington, D.C. area. Welcome, Captain David Simpson. Welcome.
Wow, you make that sound very impressive.
I'm so glad you're here. So talk to us and tell us where did it all begin for you as a young child? Did you always know you wanted to become a pilot? Talk to us about your journey.
I have always wanted to fly airplanes. That is all that I seem to want to do from early on. My first airplane ride, I think I was a few months old. So my father was a customer service agent at Washington Reagan National Airport for Delta Airlines. I know, competition. I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Right. We won't mention it.
But He started that when I was a couple of months old, and ended up working there for 27 years or something like that. So I've just always been around airplanes, traveling places, and it's what I always wanted to do. So as a kid, I was always looking up at the sky. My teachers would get mad at me, stop looking out the window and pay
Aw.
attention. So things like that. It's just what I've always wanted to do. All of my school projects were on something airplane related, if I could, things like that. So I just loved it. Um, I was told that you have to major in engineering. I mean, that's the way to get into the airlines. You have to be an engineering person, and then you have the military. So
Okay.
all of my upbringing, I geared myself to that path. Um, Studied a lot of math, science, engineering, things like that. Come to find out, that's not exactly true. And
Mm.
that's the part that I think people don't necessarily know, that you can take pretty much any path to get here if that's what you want to do. It doesn't really matter what you major in. You have to know some math and science and things like that. You'll learn all that as you learn how to fly and things like that. But there's no one path to get here. There's so many different ways. And I was able to learn that in college.
Interesting. So you did not have to major in engineering, but that's what you were told. So you were thinking that that was the sure way to get into what you wanted. But it can literally be any major.
You
Communications.
can literally major in anything you can think of. The most important thing at most major airlines, well, let me say that with a caveat. Historically, the most important thing is just to have a college degree, but a lot of airlines are doing away with that now. There's
Interesting.
such a shortage of pilots that they don't even care if you necessarily have a degree. Now, to be competitive, sure, have a
Right.
degree, but a requirement has been dropped.
Interesting. So it's preferred now. It's not like you
Correct.
have to have a Bachelor
Correct.
of Science or a Bachelor of Arts in a specific field. You can
Correct.
just come in and have the skill set. But how would a person develop the skill set of becoming a pilot if they don't go to school? I don't know.
Great question. Um, so in order to become a pilot, first thing you have to do is learn how to fly. I mean, that goes without saying, but how do you do that is the question. There are a lot of programs throughout America in different colleges that you can learn flying, all of the ground stuff that you have to know for aviation. All
Okay.
around America, there's different colleges with that. But outside of college, there are so many tiny airports around America. It's way more than these major ones that you see. Around the major ones, there's countless numbers of small ones. And most of those small ones have some sort of flight school. And all you have to do is show up. Simple as
Okay.
that. Show
So that's
up, and
interesting.
they will tell you what their process is. There is a set process, but in terms of pricing and things like that, they're all different. And there's scholarships out there and grants and loans and all of that. I'm not saying it's a cheap way to go. I'm saying if that's your dream, it's worth it. Oh, another thing, it's not easy. I don't ever want anybody to think that it's easy. I tell everybody, nope, it is very difficult to learn how to fly, especially learning how to fly at the major airline level. But it's worth it if that's what you want to do.
That's interesting. I'm glad you said that it's not easy, but it's worth it. And especially because I know a lot of people like to develop trades, even if they don't go to school for something specific. With a college degree, they can still go and get that specific skill set or that trade that they get
Yep.
under their belt. So it's kind of, is it like like carpentry and different things? I know I'm saying it in
No,
comparison, but
it is kind of like having a trade, learning how to fly and things like
okay.
that. So having that trade, it allows you to be able to fly an aircraft, and you can do that leisurely. You can do it professionally. There's different levels of professionally. So learning that does open that door for you, but then there's more to do to get at a certain level. And I guess the best way to describe the major airlines is kind of like the major leagues in baseball. It's a lot of people learning to play baseball. You get on eventually with some of the regional airlines like a United Express or
Right.
something like that. It's like the minor leagues. Very good, very fulfilling. And then
Okay.
out of that, you end up going up to the major leagues.
That's good.
So,
That's a good illustration. So I have a good visual. And so when you're talking about, finally, you said your dad had been in the whole airline industry, and so you kind of walked in some of his footsteps. What did your dad do to encourage you on this journey to go that path? Or did he say, come on, I know you watching me,
You know what?
don't do it?
He was always very encouraging and positive about the whole thing. What we would do sometimes is we would just get up in the morning on like a Saturday morning, drive down to Washington National Airport, and get on a plane to, say, Boston, a 45-minute flight, go hang out in the city, and then later that night, fly back home, just to get on a plane and just go somewhere real quick, or Atlanta or wherever, things like that. So we were always going somewhere. There's also a park right at the end of Washington National Airport called Gravely Point, and the planes are maybe 100 feet over your air where they're coming in, landing, and we would just go there and just sit there for hours and just watch airplanes.
Wow.
And he would make me tell him what kind of plane it was and things like that. So that's how I learned aircraft recognition. I'd learned what type of airplane this was and that was and things like that.
That's awesome. And so how important is it from your perspective to have a parent, whether regardless of what the person's dream or goal is, to be able to pour into that child and to spend time, like you said, you and your dad, a nice field trip was going to sit and look at the sky. That's something that was customized just for you. For real, your dad did that just for you. So what do you tell parents that have children that have unique goals and dreams, and they don't necessarily know where that's going to lead them? Because like I have a son that wants to be an actor. I have one that wants to be the first NFL player that lives with cystic fibrosis, and one that's an animation person, a daughter that does animation. How do you encourage parents to kind of pour into their children that have goals?
I would say to parents, just find a way to have that child connect with their dreams. So it doesn't have to be this large thing that you do each and every day or once a year, just little things. Go, like in my case, going to that park and just watching airplanes was enough for me. Getting on an airplane every once in a while was enough. If you have a child that wants to be the NFL player, watch games together. Go to some football games, whether it's professional or high school or whatever the case may be. Go to some plays with the child that wants to be an actor or actress. Hey, fine, let's go see some plays. Let's go watch some movies together. I mean, anything, maybe some classes here or there. As the child gets older and older, you can dive deeper and deeper into it. But definitely at an early age, just cultivate it just to make sure that they are living in their dreams.
That's good. Kids,
I've found, have a unique ability to have just this wild imagination. They could really just see themselves in it. Just sitting in that, they can see themselves. So
that's good.
Let them sit in it.
Let them sit in it. Let your children sit in their goals and their dreams and just support them and help them on this journey. And listen, you all can follow Captain David Simpson on Instagram at DAVYDAVE and the number 76. I say that because we also have lots of podcast listeners as well on iHeartRadio and different platforms. So I want to make sure you can follow him at DAVYDAVE 76 and stay connected with him. So listen, I am trying to think that there has to be a very limited number of African-American pilots that are out here. So when we come back from this commercial break, if you have any kind of statistical data that you can kind of break it down for us, I'd love to hear that right when we come back. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll be right back, everybody. We're talking with Captain David Simpson of United Airlines, African-American pilot, and he is here to share his journey with us in ways that we can be able to know that the sky has no limits. We'll be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with Captain David Simpson from United Airlines. And he's kind enough today to share with us some things that we can do to encourage our own children, as well as to be able to make sure that we know that the sky, no matter how high he soared in the sky, has no limits to what we can accomplish on this journey called life. So tell us some statistics, Captain.
I'll just pull it down up. So according to let's see if I can find a whole lot of stats here. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, they report that only 5.6% of pilots are women and only 6% are people of color.
Okay,
That
so
means
5.6% are women. Okay.
Yep.
And how many are
6%,
people of color?
6%.
Hmm.
And so that means 94% of the pilots are not people of color. And people of color doesn't just mean black. I mean, that's everybody.
Wow, that's pretty an alarming statistic. So now, okay, let me understand. I gotta take my glasses off. I don't have to read anything. I just need to learn here. I wonder why so many non-African Americans are interested in being a pilot, while only 6% of color are pursuing this as a
So
career. What are your
I can
thoughts?
tell you, it all comes down to representation
Okay.
and being able to see others like you.
Hmm.
One of the things that I do, I'm part of an organization called OBAP, which stands for the Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals, OBAP. And one of the things we
Organization
do,
of Black,
aerospace professionals.
okay, aerospace professionals. Okay.
And one of the things that we do is we just expose minorities to aviation,
That's
whether
good.
it's going through different schools. We have camps, things like that. There's needs to be exposure in order for people to see themselves doing it. I had exposure. I had a father who was in aviation.
You
But
just
if you
happen to have a
never,
fantastic father,
right,
one that we salute today and
I
that
will tell
believes
him
in
you said
you.
that.
You know,
There is there's something to be said about being exposed to that. And if you've never thought about it, you're never going to do it. All
right.
people think of, to make money, you have to be a doctor, lawyer, athlete, or actor, actress, something like that. There's so many different careers out there, and the more that people see them and are exposed to them, the more that they're going to want to do it. But I find that minorities don't have the exposure, and there are a lot of programs out there to change that. One of which my company is spearheading, which United Airlines is my company. I am very, very proud that they are doing what's called an Aviate Academy. Actually, it's a whole Aviate program that they have, but they have an academy. Basically, they've bought a flight school.
That's
They
incredible.
bought a flight school and decided they're going to train their own pilots. They're going to get, and make sure I get this number right. They want 5,000 pilots to train at this academy out in Phoenix, Arizona, in the next 10 years by 2030. And of that, they want at least 50% to be women and people of color. They want to give exposure and get people out there flying, learning how to fly, and into United Airlines flight decks, so that we can represent what America and what the world really looks like.
That's incredible. I want to make sure, Andrew, type that point back there if you will. Thank you so much for being here today, working backstage. But United Airlines created an entire school to be able to help people of color, over 5,000 to be specific, to be able to become pilots. That is to be commended, that they're willing to go to that extreme. And then they have a person like you. Are you a part of that grassroots
No, this is
project?
something that they're just starting. And so one of the first classes is in there right now. And there's a whole process to get from starting to the flight deck. And it's going to take several years to get through all of the learning how to fly all the way up to getting into a
Yes.
United Airlines flight deck. But it started and people are in it. They said the first class right now has 80% women and people of color.
Yes, way to go,
80% of the
United
first class.
Airlines.
So they are doing what it takes to make sure that everybody is well represented. And the great thing is, people want to know, are the people qualified and things like that.
Yeah.
But this is how you become qualified. You learn. That is what the academy is. It teaches you so that they become well qualified.
Excellent.
So everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody starts the same, not knowing. So this is your training. This is it. And they want to make sure that they train everybody up to full United Airlines standards.
That's awesome. Now, how do people become a part of these classes? I see all of your comments coming in. I see you, Kim. You said people in the studio audience, Captain David, they actually will chime in and ask questions as well.
Okay.
So I'll pop some of those up and you may be able to answer them. Kim said, this is great. Dennis actually says, hey, what's your company's name again? Tell us the company's name again. It's
United Airlines?
United Airlines, Dennis, is the name of the.
It's not my company. I just work there.
Yeah, it's not his. Well, he's very obviously that's the best kind of employee. United Airlines, if I'm able to put a shameless plug out here, even though I just met this young man today, I will say that you could not get a better representation of United Airlines to come across the country, sharing with these individuals that are viewing today's show. And actually, just so you know, our program, The Kim Jacobs Show, just got picked up on Believing Your Dreams Network. So it'll be streaming in over 200 million households. And this episode will be going into those 200 million households as well. So
Wow.
You can't get a better representation than Captain David Simpson, who's willing to come out and talk to the African-American community on your behalf. So thank you. And I hope that you'll be a key part of all of these classes that are forthcoming. Now you can pay me. You can pay me later. I'm just joking. The point is I'm excited about what you're doing. And so it's United Airlines, Dennis. Let me also put my glasses on. I see some paragraphs that are being written here.
Let me also say about United, they also partner with several colleges, universities, so that training can happen at those colleges and universities. And then they'll flow into this Aviate program at a later stage, like at the regionals or maybe even before that, the flight instructor stage. So they've decided amongst the different college and universities right now, they've got 3 HBCUs, historically Black colleges and university. The most illustrious of which, of course, is Hampton University, the real HU.
Right. Yes.
They've also got Delaware State University and Elizabeth City State University of North Carolina there. So those are 3 HBCUs that they also partner with. All 3 have aviation departments. I'm a graduate from the Hampton University Aviation Department, so I am very, very proud of what they're doing. And this is really seeing monumental growth in that department. It's always been a department that's been relatively small, just because, again, representation. But something like this with the backing of a major airline like United is really sending people in there who are now interested in learning to fly. So it's great. And you're going to have a job afterwards. That's the thing. Aviation is one of those fields where as long as you stick with it and you do the things you're supposed to do, you will get hired. I'm not promising where you're going to get hired. I'm saying you will get hired. You are going to make a decent living for yourself and for any family that you have.
That is so encouraging. You sold me. I want to come to aviation. I'm like, I'll be there.
Learn to fly.
Come fly. Like,
come learn to fly.
They're like, Kim, go back to the talk show stuff. That's funny. Okay, so how do you spell this program? Then is it Activate? What is it? Aviate?
Aviate. AVIATE. So I believe the website, let me make sure I'm right, is United Aviate.
Okay.
Let me see if it's a dot. What is it?
While he's looking that up, everyone, we're talking with Captain David Simpson today, and he is being kind enough as a pilot for United Airlines to come on, not just a pilot, an African-American pilot, which, as we know, there are about 6% total of people of color that are pilots in the United States that are of some level of color.
Amongst all airlines.
Across all airlines, not just United. It's across the whole airline industry.
That's across the whole industry.
That's huge. That's mind-blowing. That is such a low number. So I know that there are so many people out here that are interested in learning how to develop this skill set. And I'm so grateful that you came on the Kim Jacobs Show to share it. So UnitedAviate.com. Okay. If you're interested in learning more about this program, we're going to put this information up here now.
Fantastic program.
UnitedAviate.com. And all they have to do is do what to become a part of the class?
Go on the website first, read up on it, learn about it. And then there's should be a form you can fill out or an email to send. I believe there's a form you can fill out online and they'll get back to you.
That's good, really good. So anyone, if you have a child that has a dream, they're just going to college or they're just completing college, look into this program so that you know that they can. And if you're an adult yourself and you're already out here in the job
Oh,
world,
it's open to adults and everything. We have so many people at United who have applied for the Aviate Academy because they'd like to switch and become a pilot. A lot of flight attendants really are interested in becoming pilots. A lot of gate agents and all kinds of people who have dreamt of being a pilot one day, or now they have an opportunity.
this is
Um, and if you don't have a college degree or something like that, and you'd like to go get one, there are a lot of aviation colleges. Again, I'm going to say Hampton University is a fantastic place. hamptonu.edu they should be able to answer questions there about how to get an aviation degree from them.
Okay, okay. Well, I think Dennis may want to connect with you offline because what he's like, look, do you own your own business? Tell me for real. Dennis,
I
he is
do
here in
not
a
own
United.
my
Let
own
me speak on
business.
his behalf for a second. Okay. I'm gonna be his agent for a minute. I'm gonna be his armor bearer, like we're in church. He is here in a whole United Airlines outfit, right? So today we're talking about United Airlines and how he is representing their program. I don't know if he has any additional business things going on the side, but today he said no. Okay, go ahead. Speak on your own behalf.
No, I don't have it my own. What I do is I am a co-chair of what's called the APDP program, Aerospace Professional Development Program, and that is part of that OBAP organization that I talked about earlier. So
Okay.
OBAP has lots of different programs, and one of which Aerospace Professional Development Program, and that program does mentoring. They do interview preps.
Good.
They do all kinds of things in developing aerospace professionals,
This is
and not
awesome.
just
So
pilots,
just
all
any
over.
talk about that for a second. You said not just pilots, what?
Not just pilots. I mean, if you want to do anything in aerospace, we have the capacity to help you along.
Good. Very good. So Andrew said, how do interested people or individuals reach out to the organization of Black aerospace professionals? How do they contact them?
Go to obap.org, obap.org, and all the information is on there.
Okay. So everyone, we put that in the comment section, no matter what platform you're looking at it. It's obap.org, and you will be able to learn more about how you can get involved with the professionals. Organization of Black aerospace professionals. They don't only focus on piloting,
Yep.
they focus on all different aerospace type of outlets.
I'd also like to say there are so many organizations out there that can help people. There's a newer one that just started a few years ago called Sisters of the Skies. And they are fantastic as well, geared towards minority women. So Sisters of the Skies. There's just the regular large organizations. ORBAP is one of those large ones, but there's also Women in Aviation. There's NGPA, which is National Gay Pilot Association. These are some of just the big organizations that are out there that people can be a part of and learn about flying and how to get involved and things like that.
Okay, listen, it doesn't matter what your choice is, your gender, your race. There are all kinds of opportunities for you if you're part of the gay community. National Gay Pilots Association is available for you if you're African American.
I just want to correct that as NGPA.
Oh, NGPA. I'm going to look and see what you're typing backstage. Let's see. Can you type NGPA, Andrew, for me? And we will pull that. And that's national. Let me put that. That's national. Say it again.
Gay Pilots Association.
Okay. NGPA.org, which is the national.
And of course, SOS, Sisters of the Skies. They're fantastic. All of these organizations have scholarships available for people, mentorship, and just more than anything else, networking. Networking is the key to all of this.
Networking is the key to everything, the Captain David. The point is, if you connect with someone that's already doing what you're doing in the industry or field that you're interested in learning more about, there is going to be no excuse or no reason why you can't exceed or excel in that particular field. So
Agreed.
I'm excited about everything that you're sharing. We're going to come back after this commercial break. And I heard that there's some type of program. I want to make sure we take a look at a video, but I want you to intro the video before I share it. Okay. So right after this commercial break, talk to us about that program and we'll be right back. I want to show a couple of pictures too before we take a break. What is this picture?
A buddy of mine that we were flying together, so we needed to definitely take some pictures together.
Oh, so y'all are those pilots, right? Where you'd be like, hey, hi.
Absolutely.
Doing this stuff. That's a good thing. So you have fun. You have fun. Okay, tell us about this one.
So that is actually part of a shot for the video that you're going to shoot. And or the video that you're going to show, I should say. But afterwards, we just took some pictures together, and that was just one of the pictures that I took standing in front of a brand new 737 MAX.
Oh, okay. And this is you. You smile on your job all day. This is good.
That's actually outside of my apartment on my balcony, just sitting there taking pictures because I'm happy. And that's it. I'm happy.
That's a blessing, Captain David, just to know that you have joy surrounding what you do and you're happy about it. And we're going to hear more about that philosophy of the sky having no limits as well as we're going to tell us about this.
Well, that's what I fly now. That is the Boeing 737. That is a MAX 9. So the 737 has lots of different variants, and I'm rated to fly all of them. That's just one of the brand new ones that just came out, the 737 MAX. And I was just flying that type of airplane 3 days ago.
Wow. So that's the plane that he flies officially, him and these kind of co-pilots that they do the selfies with. This is where they hang out and they're having a great life. And he's, no matter what view he gets, I'm sure he has a view of the sky in his background because that's his mindset, that the sky has no limits. So right after this commercial break, we're going to hear more about a program that and how 6 pilots were being honored. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more right after this commercial break. I'm encouraging you all to go ahead and share this broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers, people that have goals and dreams, which should be everyone in the world, to be a part of today's discussion. The sky has no limits, especially when it comes to Captain David Simpson. All right. We'll be right back, everybody.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter & Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone, and we are back. We're having a great conversation with Captain David Simpson from United Airlines. He's already shared statistics that were mind-blowing. 5.6% of women in the airline industry, all airlines, doesn't matter which one, is only 5.6% are women of color and 6% are people.
5.6% are women.
Oh, are women, period.
Right. Period.
Doesn't matter what
women
race they are. 5.6% are women.
Right.
That's huge.
So here's the thing. If only 6% are people of color, the percentage that are actually women is minuscule of that 6%. And I don't have that statistic, but my guess, 1%, maybe 2% of that 6%.
That is absolutely
so few women of color that it is mind-blowing, and that is something that definitely not only needs to change, but is changing. There are a lot of minority women that are coming up through the ranks, learning to fly. There's more and more that are at the majors every day, and I personally would love to see more and more because, again, representation matters.
Wow. Thank you for being here to share this opportunity with everyone today. Now, this video that we're going to show, which is about 2 minutes or so, I want to get you to just briefly intro it before we show it.
Sure. There are a number of pilots, and in this case, there were 6 of us that did this. We all learned to fly together at Hampton University. I believe United has about 13 Hampton pilots, but all of us learned to fly together, came up through the ranks together, and are now at United Airlines. And so for Black History Month last year, United did a video of 6 of us that were all in classes together and really a core that learned to fly together.
So six of these individuals, they started out on this journey together and all ended up together at United Airlines. How bizarre
Correct.
is that? Well, I don't believe that
Correct.
anything happens by happenstance. So everything happens for a
It's
reason.
amazing that it happened that way.
That is
We are
amazing. You all
truly
didn't
blessed.
know it was going to happen that way?
Between networking and things like that, we just all stuck together and all decided to help each other out. So when one would get a job, we'd help everybody get it. Things like that. We were all a group, and we
That's
made sure that we
awesome.
were all successful. You can't, just like I said, networking. Part of that networking is just having that group with you and surrounding and working for you. You have to make sure that you all are there for each other. So if I have something positive that happens, I'm going to make sure that everybody has something positive happen.
Wow.
We're
Now,
all
if
there for
everyone
each
could-
other.
If everyone could share in that philosophy, wouldn't it be beautiful? Wouldn't life just be a beautiful place?
It'd be awesome.
I think so. Okay, listen, we're going to watch this video and we're going to see more about these 6 pilots that all ended up at United Airlines. Let's watch now.
Set takeoff. Flight instruments. Check and set.
Green 2 was good.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, I plan to be flying United 747 heavies.
Prior to going to Hampton University, I had never met a Black airline pilot. If you see it, you can achieve it. That's a real thing. And so us together, we maybe didn't see it outside of us, but us, we could see it in each other.
And we're flying. All about this. Approach Malibu 6901.
I was the only female, so I became like the little sister of the group.
We knew that it was going to be a little more difficult for us to get the jobs because of our skin color. And we wanted to make sure that that was not going to be the obstacle, that we were going to be the best we could be or even better than others.
After college, we all went our separate ways. Some went to flight instruct, others ended up at regional airlines. I joined the military.
So Terrell and Dave got hired first at Continental. Literally, when they were shaking the hands of the gentleman who hired them, they were asking about me.
We were hungry, we worked hard, we pushed each other. We wanted this dream and we were not going to accept anything less.
I get an opportunity to fly to 787 at United. Each one of these guys has played a role in what I'm doing today.
Our friendship goes beyond just fellow students or peers. It really has become a bit of a family, and it's withstood the test of time. It's incredible that we are in the position now to affect the trajectory of the next generation's path.
And you just show them opportunities that I didn't believe that I had when I was younger.
I think travel in general for young African Americans to just go to another state or even go to another country and experience what other people have to offer in different cultures, it opens up a world for that individual. Aviate is a great program that United has put together, and it will help increase diversity in the cockpit.
My own son is interested in becoming a pilot and is majoring in aviation, in the hope that he'll also follow my footsteps and work his way up to becoming a pilot for United.
The fact that we all ended up here at United is kind of like a storybook ending, because this is where we all dreamt of being. This dream has gone beyond our love of flying. This has become a love for each other. We're always there for each other and always will be.
Wow. That is unbelievable, Captain David.
It
So
brings
you
a tear to my eye a
look
little
out
bit.
for each other. So you're
We really
sitting
did.
there, you're interviewing. Go ahead. You talk. Go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I mean, You know, the best thing about that, as crazy as it sounds, is how close we really are. And several of us haven't seen each other in many years. One of the gentlemen, Darnell Duck, he lives out in Guam. We have a pilot base in Guam, and he lives out there. Donovan Burns, he lives out in Los Angeles. Gabrielle's in Delaware. You know, I mean, we're all over the place. So I say all that to say we haven't seen each other together, especially, I mean, since college. I mean, all of us together since college. So just for all of us to be there, and one was missing. Terrell wasn't able to make it that day, even though he is represented in the video.
Yes.
But my goodness, it was just so great to just have everybody there, and we acted like we'd never been apart. It was an amazing opportunity, such a great experience. We had such a great time filming that.
Oh, I feel like I was there, and it reminds me kind of like a fraternity or a sorority.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did you pledge anything when you were in college?
I did not.
But guess what? You are a part of the pilot fraternity, if that's such a thing. I don't know, but it should be. Again, you could create so many things because you're gifted and talented, and you're representing the African American community, I believe, as a whole, you and all of the 6 of you that are represented in this video. So I'm so impressed. And I believe that technically there should be some type of pilot fraternity, sorority. You'd have to call it a pilot fraternity / sorority because Gabrielle's in there too. So you have to put, you know, like
there is a professional organization for pilots, pilot fraternity called Alpha Eta Rho, but that's worldwide. That's everybody. That's not just minority or anything like that, but Alpha Eta Rho. And we did start a chapter at Hampton University while we were there.
Good. See, I mean, I don't even know you, and I'm like, and I feel like we're becoming family in this interview here. This is great. You never know.
If you want to know just a little funny story with that, we named ourselves, and this is actually Darnell Duckett, one of the gentlemen there. He spearheaded this and got the chapter recognized and everything, but we named it the Omicron Gamma chapter, so we are the OG chapter.
Oh, the OG. That's cute. Very nice. Okay, so what other advice do you have? Let me go to some of the studio audience comments because they'll be like, Kim, I know you saw my comments, and then they'll be mad at me later. So let me see. Oh, Hillary Gooden, she hosts the show as well, and she said this is awesome and amazing. And Tommy Nichols, he actually does a Black film festival. Tommy, the reason I tagged you is because imagine doing a Black film pertaining to these 6 pilots. So again, I think I'm just really helping connect some dots here. He's gotten all kinds of awards for international film festival stuff, but he's based in Charlotte. And so imagine if there was some type of documentary on you all. That's why I tagged you, Tommy. Thanks for coming in. Let's see. Angeline Hill, she's also a talk show host for Sip and Chat with Angeline. And she said it's evident that he looks out for others. Hence, he's sharing the information with us today. Blessings to you for empowering others, Captain David Simpson. Thank you. And then Dennis said, that's right. Andrew said, where have you flown to and what are your favorite destinations?
Wow. You know, it's funny. That's a question I hear a lot. And I just love so many places for so many different reasons. You know, for about 6 years, I was flying to Europe on the Boeing 757 and 767.
Okay.
And, you know, I used to love Barcelona. What a beautiful town. Probably one of my favorite places in Europe. But, you know, at the same time, I really London was just so dynamic, so powerful. I loved it. And I met such amazing people there that I've gotten to be lifelong friends with people there. At the same time, what I do now, which is more domestic Caribbean, Central America, Canada. I mean, I was in Los Angeles during the Super Bowl. How awesome was that?
Yes.
You know, I might be in Costa Rica at a resort, or I might be in Omaha, Nebraska, which this one restaurant has some of the best soup I've ever had in my life. I mean, there's so many different places I can go to and find something that I love. So honestly, I love the variety. I love going all over the world. Beijing was beautiful. Japan was beautiful. Singapore is beautiful. I mean, I've been all over the place, and I love everywhere for just lots of different reasons.
All right. So we typed a bunch of the places here, and basically it sounds like he's just willing to go wherever he can always find something outstanding in that location. So I think that's also a mindset, Captain David. As you're talking, what I hear you saying is that no matter where you go, I've put some of the places here, but no matter where you go, at the end of the day, you are going to find something special in that location. How do you?
Absolutely. You know, I don't want to say that any one city is better than another city. Lots of fantastic people live in smaller cities, and those
Right.
smaller cities have a certain charm and appeal to them. So it might not be the city that you would go on vacation for, but as somebody who flies people to whatever city that is, it is fantastic to just go. When I was at the regional airlines, I have to tell you this. When I was at
Yes.
the regional airlines, at Masaba Airlines, um, we were an affiliate of Northwest Airlines, and we went to so many cities in the Midwest that I never thought I'd go to. I mean, for me to go to 3 different cities in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you know, like what? What am I doing up here? I mean, I've never thought I'd see some of these parts of the country, and they are amazing. To go to, I think it was Pellston, Michigan, or something, and end up taking a ferry over to Mackinac Island. I mean, wow, these are things that I just would have never dreamt of doing.
Interesting. Now, what advice would you give people when it comes to having the mindset? Because I think mindset is so important. Having the mindset that the sky has no limit. That's what we kind of put on our flyer today as we were advertising. What advice would you give people to take the shackles
So
off of our minds?
when I talk to kids in schools of all different ages, I tell them don't just sit there and think of those couple of things to make yourself successful. Dream big. Decide what you want to do and do it. Make it happen. Don't worry about if it seems crazy. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You just have to convince yourself that you can do it. I mean, not even convince yourself, just know that you can do it and make it happen. I never wanted anything other than to fly. And who knew that I was actually going to be able to do it? But friends of mine from elementary school have said, you know what, this is what you always talked about. It's so fantastic that you can do this. So the mindset is don't accept anything less than making your dream a reality.
That's
That's your
good.
mindset.
That's good. Don't accept anything less than making your dream a reality. Wow, that's good. Dream big. Just know. How do you just know? How did you just know? Just from because I mean, it's one thing to be a child and to know it and to look up in the sky and to dream it, but then to actually become it. How did you just know? You just knew. That's just like, oh, I just knew. How do you know?
As a kid, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. It was in my heart. Funny, when I first went to Hampton, the reason I joined, or let me change that, the reason I went to Hampton University is because they had a fantastic engineering program. And while I was there, I did not enjoy it at all, the engineering program. For me, it just wasn't what held my interest. And I found out about the aviation department later. So here it is, second semester of my freshman year, and I decided I'm going to change my major. And from that point on, it's been a dream. I thoroughly enjoyed this journey, this ride. Hampton Aviation set me up very well, and it allowed my dream to come true. It allowed me to continue dreaming. Even now, I still dream. You know, I haven't made it in my mind. I've still got a ways to go. I've still got, 20 years before I have to retire. So I've still got more to do.
Okay.
And I'm still pushing.
So you never arrive is what I'm hearing. You're just still pushing, you're still dreaming, you're still making it happen
Yes,
and striving for
absolutely.
higher goals.
But don't forget to stop and smell the roses. We're all guilty of pushing so hard that you don't appreciate where you currently are. And that is one of the things that I have to caution people. Enjoy the ride. I think back to when I was flying those general aviation aircraft, like the little single engine propeller planes that you fly if you own your own plane or that you learn to fly on. And I haven't flown those things in 20 plus years. But I think back like that was a lot of fun. I'd like to do that again. But while flying it, all I kept thinking of was trying to get to where I am now. But man, I had such a great time doing that and I didn't really give myself permission to enjoy it. So now I'm giving myself permission to enjoy everything.
That's
Like I
good.
said,
Give
I'm just
yourself
happy.
permission to enjoy every phase of your journey. And so, do you own your own plane?
No, no. Right
Okay.
now, I have no interest in doing that because I work so much.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay.
But I would love to, maybe on a boat one day or something like that. Some different forms of transportation. I got a motorcycle. I got the cars and stuff like that. So, we'll see.
So, what is the typical day? Because I'm trying to visualize the typical day of a pilot because I
Sure.
can't really envision that. So, when we come back
Don't
after
worry.
this commercial break, I want to hear
Okay.
that. Okay. And I see some more of your virtual studio audience comments coming in. And what we will do is we will take a look at those comments and definitely share as any thoughts, comments, questions, encouragement for this young man that is one of the 6%. I just can't believe 6%. And that's all people of all color, right? Not just African American. So
Correct.
you are to be commended and honored. And I'm envisioning that there should be some type of how they have military grave sites and things. There should be something specific for African American pilots because you are a rare person. It's like
Pretty
you're
rare.
a legend. You're going to go down in history. Do you realize
I
that?
don't know if I'm a legend.
Yeah, you are. Okay. So you're a legend in my opinion. Like Les Brown is a legend when it comes to being an international motivational speaker. He's a legend. African American doing a fantastic job. He's actually one of my mentor. So I know a legend when I see one. And so I'm not some gawky fan. To me, nobody's better than anyone else in life, but we just may have better circumstances or situations. And you are leaving a legacy for other African Americans. So I want to make sure I say that in this broadcast today. My hat, if I had one on, or my glasses, off to you, Captain David.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everybody. And you're very modest, and I appreciate that in you as well. So right after this commercial break, we will be right back. Okay. Oh, I'm about to play your video again. I love that video. So I almost played it again. Here we go.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
Lamb Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, everyone. And we are back. We are back with Captain David Simpson, and he's going to share the day in the life of being a captain at United Airlines. Tell us.
Well, to borrow as an example, I start a 4-day trip. I'll be gone for 4 days. And the first flight looks like, just looking at my schedule here, I fly from Washington Dulles, which is 10 minutes up the street, to Denver. And I'm in Denver a whole hour, switch to a different type of aircraft, and all of which are 737s, but we fly all the different types interchangeably. And then fly from Denver to Sacramento, California. And then that's where I spend the night.
Wow. Now, how's your personal life? Because your whole life seems like it's on the road. So tell us anything from a personal perspective. Do you get to date? Do you get to hang out and watch movies? What do you do for your personal
I have
fun?
a fantastic girlfriend now, and her daughter. I call myself a bonus dad, you know. So we've got a wonderful puppy, you know. So all living here in resting together, and just such a fantastic life right now. We are just our own little family.
Now I'm gonna put my glasses on sideways for a second because I don't have no pictures of the girlfriend and the daughter and the bonus dog. So, but it's okay. I am excited about your personal journey as well, because as we balance this thing called life, we do need to be able to have the time where we do get to walk the dog, or we do get to just enjoy a nice movie or fun family time. So this is great.
I have a lot of days off, so I'm generally working half the month and off half the month. The good side of that is, of course, you're getting half the month off, but the bad side is you're actually gone on the days you're gone. So, you know, yourself and most people, sure, you don't get that many days off. You're not getting half the month off, but you're home every night. So you're still doing home things every night.
Right.
Me, I've only got half the month to be home, and that's it.
That's a good point. Very good point. But when you're home, you are there. You're in that
When I'm
moment.
home, I'm there. I'm there all day and whatever that entails. So cooking, cleaning, you know, the whole nine.
Excellent. Excellent. So what's next for you coming up as a pilot, as you are pursuing some higher goals and dreams? What do you see next for yourself?
Eventually, when I can have a decent schedule, I see myself going to the aircraft that flies over to Europe. Starting to do that. I can do that now, but I don't like the schedule that I would have, or lack thereof. I would be basically, it's called on reserve. So they call you when they need you. If somebody calls in sick and they need someone to fill in, you're the person they call. So you just never know what you are and aren't doing from day to day. I'd rather have a little bit more control of my schedule.
Excellent.
So I'll start doing the Europe flying sometime. I don't even want to give a time frame because I don't know when I'm going to make the switch. Eventually start doing the planes again that fly over to Asia. Again, all of this as a captain, as opposed to from a first officer like I used to be. So all of the captain positions are a lot of fun. It's nice being in charge. Wow.
I wanted to hear you say that. I'm going to put your comment up in 1 second here, Athena, but I want to hear what he's saying here. It's kind of nice. And I won't say a saying that goes with the African-American community. I'll leave it just generic. It's nice being in charge. Talk to us from that vein for 1 second.
You know, you get to set the goals of the flight. I mean, I'm trying to remember the saying that they talk about. It's you just get to set the tempo, the mood, everything of the way that the flight operates. If I come on board and I meet my flight attendants and my co-pilot, and which, by the way, co-pilot, first officer, that's an interchangeable word, but when you meet them, if you're nice and personable or lively, they tend to be nice people back. If you're grumpy, upset, or just don't want to be there, they tend to mimic that as well. So you get to set the mood of the flight.
That's
good.
You
know, I greet the passengers and things like that. You know, I'd say a good majority of my job isn't just about flying, it's about customer service.
That's good.
And if you can sit there and relate and talk to the customers, they want to come back. People will spend the money to come on United. And that's what I want people to know about being a captain. It's not just about telling people what to do or being a boss or something. It's just customer service and relating to your crew, your passengers, and everything else.
Excellent. And so, because with COVID happening and with tempers and stuff and temperaments being completely out of control in some regards, what are tell us of just one example of something that was like kind of like, okay, this is getting ready to get a little bit sticky.
Well, believe it or not, I don't have any examples because of how I treat people and talk to people. There was one time, one passenger did not want to put on a mask. We were still at the gate, just would not comply. And so we got one of the agents to come down to the aircraft and escort him and his girlfriend off. And that was the biggest incident I've had because I directly addressed that before each flight, standing in front of the cabin, not even just over the PA. I actually stand there and they see me and I talk to the people over the PA about the mask and that it's not the flight attendant's fault. They're just following the rules. They're doing their jobs. Please don't give them a hard time. And you know what? They don't.
That's good. So you think that it does make a difference by you being personable, coming out of the cockpit area and addressing people as regular human beings, and you being a regular human being and saying, hey, we're just going to all treat each other with dignity and respect, and therefore it minimizes the issues.
It absolutely, it de-escalates the whole thing before it even begins.
I am so proud of you. Yes, because there are a lot of pilots, and I mean, we're not comparing or anything. Everybody does it the way that they do it, and however you do it that works for you, perfectly fine. But I'm just glad to hear how you're sharing today that how you personally do it. So thank you. Athena says, hey, yes to you being a bonus dad. I am a bonus mom of 5 beautiful children that God has blessed me to be a part of their lives for 15 years and counting. Thanks so much for sharing your story. And some of those 15 years and those 5 children might be interested in being a pilot too, Athena. So keep that in mind.
I sure hope so. You know, funny thing is, one of the best ways that you can inspire youth to become a pilot is just invite them into the flight deck when you're boarding or when they're getting off the aircraft. Just say, hey, you want to come see? And you let them sit there and look at all the buttons and lights and switches and stuff. And they all, wow, and their big eyes, and, you know, give them some wings. And that's things that people will keep for years.
Forever.
You know, even a business card, they just keep that and they look back on it like, I want to do that.
Well, remember, everyone, the sky, there is no limit. Andrew said your enthusiasm and passion for flying is evident, is very evident. And yes, it is. Make sure, everyone, that you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. If you haven't subscribed already, take a moment to do that right on our YouTube channel. If you want to know how you can support the program so we can continue bringing original content like this to the show daily to all of our viewers, you can use these different methods to support the Kim Jacobs Show. And we really appreciate the opportunity to serve you in this capacity. Thank you, Captain David Simpson, for being here today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Did you have a good experience?
It's been fantastic. This is something I need to share and put it on my Instagram, my stories, make sure that everybody sees this.
And speaking of Instagram, make sure you follow Captain David Simpson right at DAVYDAVE, the number 76. And if you and all of your contemporaries, the 6 of you all, want to come back, or any of you and your management or anybody from United Airlines, feel free to come and grace the presence of the Kim Jacobs Show studio audience anytime. You have an open door invitation. Okay?
All right.
All right, everybody. If you stay backstage for 1 second, I want to get you to do one last thing. And everyone, I thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you, Andrew Roberts, for providing this wonderful guest. You are a very valued member of the Kim Jacobs Show team, and we don't take you for granted, or any of our team members for granted, here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Guess what? Tomorrow, we're going to have some of the directors from Believe in Your Dreams television network. Again, the Kim Jacobs Show is going to start airing on that network soon in over 200 million households, and we'll have some of those directors right here on the show. So we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one.
Bye, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times, as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.